Well, hi, my name is Jeff Gamagami, and over the next few minutes, I want to share with you one of the most extraordinary opportunities that I've ever been involved with. I was really in the right place at the right time 20 years ago, and I've managed to build a business that has sold in excess of $100 million of products through the anti-aging and wellness field. Over the next few minutes, I want to share with you one of the most extraordinary opportunities that I think could absolutely change your life forever. Now, before we get into it, I just want to ask you a couple of questions. Really, what's your number one priority? Because as I share with you over the next few minutes this opportunity, I really want you to think about what's in it for you. Is it extra income, financial freedom, maybe having your own business, more time, retirement? Maybe you like to help others. Maybe it's personal development or even meeting new people. Well, over the next few minutes, we're going to talk about all these areas and how it could impact your life in a positive way. Now, I'm sure you've heard of the baby boomers, you've heard of the X generation, the Y generation, even the Z generation. I want to introduce you to a new group of people. We call them Generation O. And really, this generation, over the last number of years, has really started to realize that they're not going to be ahead financially. There's no government anywhere in the world that's going to look after us in retirement. And the fact is that only 1% out of 100 people in every industrialized nation in the world today is wealthy at age 65. 5 are well off, and the rest are either dead or dead broke. How did the 1% become wealthy? Well, they did it by owning their own business. And today we're going to talk about how you can have your own business. Now, maybe you've read the book by Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote the number one best-selling book of all time in respect to money and ways of producing income, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And Robert really breaks it down into 4 key areas. Number one, you could be an employee. Employees have a job, sometimes called Journey of the Broke, because they're trading time for money. It doesn't matter if you're earning $20 an hour, $30 an hour, $50 an hour, even $100 an hour in a job. There's not enough time to exchange for that money to really create wealth. Have you ever tried to perhaps double your income by working twice as many hours? It's almost impossible to do. The second way to create income is by being self-employed or a small business person. Maybe you're a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, and here you don't have a job, you actually own your own job. And let's face it, it's a lot better than having a job, but still you're trapped in time for money. Maybe you're earning $40, $50, $60, $100, $200, $300 an hour, but it still relies on you. If you stop, the income stops. In these two areas, only 5% of the wealth in the world is created, but 95% of the population fit into one of these two categories. So let's move over to the other side of the quadrant, the B quadrant, or really business ownership, or big business sometimes called. When you have a big business, you really have a system where people are working for you to make money. So you might, for example, have 10 employees, 20 employees, 100 employees, maybe even 1,000 employees. Well, if you had 100 employees working for 8 hours a day, that would be 800 hours a day of productivity. And as hard as you want, you can't get up tomorrow and work 800 hours yourself. So it's where people help leverage you to create income. And of course, they make an income along the way. And the last area is I for investor. An investor is where money makes you money. A simple example of this would be, let's say, for example, you had, $5 million invested in the stock market or $5 million invested in property. And let's say over a period of time that investment went up by 10%. 5 million times 10% is about 500,000. Now, if you earn $500,000 from investment, how many hours did you have to spend to create that income? Of course, the answer is none. You had created your money to create money for you, and everyone wants to get to that area in life where their money makes money. Now, the problem with being an E or an S is there's never enough cash at the end of the month to invest into property or stocks, or perhaps it's a currency, or many other ways you can invest, gold, commodities. There's never enough extra income to invest to really significantly get ahead. And so the wealthy get wealthier. This is why 95% of the wealth is really controlled by 5% of the population, because those people own a business, they get leverage, people making money, and then they're able to invest that into investments that can be meaningful. Today we're going to talk to you about how to have a B quadrant business, how you can have a system to help people, help create leveraged income for you, and then you can choose to invest that if you choose to to make your money make money. So let's talk about our exciting opportunity. Over the next few minutes, we're going to talk about our company, our trends, our products, and your opportunity. So it starts with a really fantastic company called Nu Skin. And I happened to come across this company 20 years ago by accident. And what a fantastic success story. It was a handful of friends with a few $1,000s each, which started in their garage. And within 10 years became a $1 billion success story. In fact, they were the 7th company ever to go from nothing to $1 billion in less than 10 years. They joined companies like Apple and Microsoft, Nike and Reebok, Federal Express, and Home Depot. Nu Skin was the 7th company in history to go from nothing to $1 billion in less than 10 years. They are called a hyper-growth company. Today, the company now spans over 50 countries around the world, and they're really are taking their wealth and their success and making a difference in the world. One of many of the projects is called Nourish the Children, and the Nourish the Children project has fed over 300 million meals to children in Africa, in India, Southeast Asia, and throughout other impoverished parts of the world. It is an absolutely fantastic program, and it's one of many programs where the founders, being so grateful for their success, have really wanted to make a difference in the world. The company Nu Skin has been featured in Forbes as one of the top 100 most trustworthy companies. In fact, they ranked number 5 on the Forbes list. They won an American Stevie Award numerous times. Dun & Bradstreet, a 5A1 rating, which means they're debt-free. And recently, the Motley Fool, one of the world's most successful investment firms, called Nu Skin the Apple of anti-aging companies. What a phenomenal recognition of their great success. The company has been in the media numerous times. Thousands and thousands of articles and publications have picked up the story about Nu Skin. We've been on Discovery Channel, ABC, NBC, CBS, even Dr. Oz had our technology on his program recently, just giving accolades to the phenomenal technology we have. Sales have reflected this. The company is a $1 billion company, has seen in the last few years double their sales from just over $1 billion to over $2 billion in 2012. 2013 is projected to reach over $3 billion, over 14 over $4 billion, and by 2015 the company has a goal to reach over $5 billion in sales. So we are on a tear as far as growth. There's very few companies today in this environment after the world financial crisis that are seeing such incredible growth projections. And it's all because of some new technology we're going to share with you shortly. This has caused the stock price to increase over 942%. Back in 2009, when our first of our new range of products was released, the share price was at $8.90. It has finished at over $88 today. This slide is a little bit old, over $88. That means $1,000 invested would be worth over $100,000 today. And so the investment community is very bullish on Nu Skin and their phenomenal track record of stability. So what's causing this growth? Well, there is a huge trend out there towards anti-aging, and the market of anti-aging is predicted to more than double by 2025 to $1 trillion industry. And it's really doubling because of a demographic of the population called the baby boomers and their children, the X generation. Currently, there's over 2 billion baby boomers and their children, the X generation, who are over 40. And they all want to look and feel younger. None of them want to get old. Now, what's going to create continued growth is not only are they demanding products that actually work, their children, the Y generation, over the next 20 years are going to reach into their 40s. So the market is predicted to grow because of these demographics of the population aging. And as we're living longer, people for longer periods of time are wanting products that help them look younger, feel younger, and actually be younger. So we are positioned perfectly for this market. Now, I want to talk about innovation for a minute because innovation changes entire industries all the time. There was a time when the railways controlled transportation. Along came the first airplane, and they didn't recognize it as a competitor. And of course, today the airlines dominate transportation. There was a time when Kodak, for over 150 years, dominated photography. Along came the first digital camera in 1974, and Kodak, Fuji, and other companies in the film industry didn't recognize, in the photographic industry, didn't realize the competition. And of course, today, there is no such thing as Kodak anymore. They went bankrupt last year. And most recently, one of my favorite examples, Sony, Samsung, Philips, some of the most powerful technology companies in the world, dominated the music industry. Along came a little company called Apple, turning over a couple $1 billion in sales. A new innovation, the iPod, took off, and none of the competitors followed them. They thought it was a fad. And of course, today, all music, probably 80% of music, is on an i something. And it's exciting. Entire industries can change in an instant with new innovation. And we are here to tell you that we have an innovation that is so unique in the marketplace that no competitor can follow us for the next 30 years. Our story really starts with Dr. Joseph Chang. He's a chief scientific officer for Nu Skin. He had previously been with the pharmaceutical companies for the past 20 years. He holds a PhD. He's a best-selling author of the New York Times #1 bestseller, The Aging Myth. He was recently featured on Discovery Channel in a 1-hour documentary. And he and his team of scientists are working to help you live longer and live healthier. Here's a few of the scientific advisory board. We have over 75 PhDs on staff. Now, I want you to really understand the significance of this. This mastermind of individuals, this dream team of individuals, have written and published over 100 books. They have published more than 3,400 articles in scientific journals. We have affiliations and partnerships with Stanford, Harvard, Purdue, and 17 other major universities around the world. We've acquired a company called LifeGen Technologies, and we have hundreds of patents. It makes it extraordinarily difficult for any of our competitors to even come close to the R&D engine that Nu Skin has today. Now, I don't want to get too sciencey, but I need to really let you understand the extraordinary science we're in front of. And I'd like you to go and Google epigenetics. Epigenetics is a brand new science, and it was featured the front cover of Time magazine, the front cover of National Geographic, and many other scientific journals. And really, to keep it really simple, this technology was developed as the human genome was mapped about 10 years ago, and some scientists in Sweden started to ask a really great question. If our DNA is our destiny, if we inherit disease, we've all been to the doctor and they've asked us, is there diabetes in the family? Is there cancer in the family? Is there heart disease in the family? Because they're looking to see if we would inherit those same genes and we will also have those same illnesses or diseases. Well, some scientists in Sweden asked a fantastic question. What about twins? Identical twins are born with the exact same DNA, except as they age, they change. You see, one twin might have different eyesight. One twin might have different allergies. One twin might have different wrinkles. Maybe they have different diseases. One might get diabetes, the other doesn't. One might get cancer while the other doesn't. How could this be if they have the same DNA? Well, the scientists discovered that inside your cell, of course, you have your DNA, and your DNA holds your genes, about 25,000 genes, and those genes are like the software. They tell your cell what to be. They say, you be a skin cell, and you be a red blood cell, and you be a white blood cell, and you be a heart muscle cell. Those genes give the instruction, the core instruction, the book of life for every cell in your body. And what these scientists discovered is that these genes, many of them are controlled by little switches. We call these switches epigenes. Now, of course, they aren't switches. But to give a simple illustration, imagine this. When, let's say you were allergic to a cat, and a cat comes in the room, what happens? Your immune system turns on. You might get scratchy eyes. You might start sneezing. You might start having an allergic reaction of some sort. Now, what had happened is the genes turned on your immune system. Now the cat leaves. What happens? The genes turn off. The cat comes back. The genes turn on. The cat leaves. The genes turn off. And so these epigenetic switches allow your body to adapt to the environment it's in. And we see it all the time. When you eat an apple, it changes your epigenes. When you put a cell phone to your ear, it changes your epigenes. When you are exposed to pollution, toxins, stress, it changes your epigenes. And so these environmental changes happen all the time. Our scientists have worked together to see if we could reset these genes to behave younger again in a more youthful state. And using some incredible technology called gene chip technology, we are able to map out the human's genes and see exactly the way they were and the way we want them to be. So in this example, this is looking at mitochondria function. And mitochondria function is perhaps one of the most important functions of your cell. It turns food and oxygen into energy. So you really want to make sure that this is working well. Here is Michael, age 20. And you can see here that these red genes perhaps are turned off. And these green genes perhaps are turned on. So when Michael was 20, this is the way his genes performed. This is Michael 30 years later, age 50. This is why none of our competitors can follow us for more than 30 years, because it'll take 30 years for them to do the research to see subject A at age 20 and the subject A at age 50 again. So Michael, age 50, you can see the genes that were working are now asleep. They're turned off, and vice versa. The ones that were asleep are now on. This is the aging process happening right before our eyes. Now, how do we translate this into creating cutting-edge products? Products can help you look, feel, and be younger. Well, here we go. Michael, age 20 again. Here we have Michael, age 50. We have screened hundreds of thousands of plant-based nutrients. Natural ingredients is our specialty. And in this example of 5 ingredients, which of these ingredients do you think helps the gene behave like it's younger again? Well, number 4 is a pretty close match. And so that's how they're choosing the ingredients. No other competitor on Earth today knows which genes to look at and has the algorithm to identify and help us to decipher which ingredients to use. This is proprietary technology. Here's an example. Here we have an enzyme called the ageLOC enzyme, and this enzyme, for all intents and purposes, causes the aging process. This is a Stanford University study that was done in partnership with us, and you can see over here, over a period of 48 minutes, the up and downs is the free radical activity, the aging activity of your cell. We add our ageLOC proprietary patented technology, a natural plant-based nutrient to the skin in this case, and we can see it doesn't slow it down, it turns off the aging process. We've basically reset the genes. We've turned off the aging process in this example. And I know this may be hard to believe, but this is as close as we're going to get today to the secret of youth. Now, this has resulted in a handful of products right now. And we have, to start with, these little machines called the galvanic spas. One is a face spa. We've nicknamed the smallest wrinkle iron in the world. This is a body spa, which literally helps to break down fat and cellulite in the body. We have the transformation skincare system, which is a revolutionary system that for the first time goes to the source of aging. And then we have, of course, our R² product, which is the first internal product to help to reset mitochondria function. Remember, the mitochondria turn oxygen and food into energy. Who wouldn't want more energy in their cell? And of course, when your cells have more energy, everything starts to repair itself. And this little formula on top, which at nighttime helps to purify your blood and all the cells in the body. So it literally helps to clean everything out so everything can function properly. Now, what makes these products unique? I'm going to give you a simple analogy. I want you to imagine for a minute you have a leak in the ceiling of your home. And let's say you might see some sagging plaster, you might see some discoloration, you might see some cracks in the plaster. And I love that analogy because it's exactly what happens to us as we age. We get cracks, we get sagging, and we get discoloration. Now imagine that you went down to the pharmacy, the chemist, maybe a beautician, and she recommended to you to use XYZ product. She recommended us to paint over the problem. So if you painted over the leaky ceiling here with the cheapest paint or the most expensive paint, it would look better, but it wouldn't actually fix the problem. In fact, in a few weeks or even a few months, that problem would come back again and probably even worse. This is exactly what happens with every single anti-aging product on the market. As I said, whether you go to the pharmacy, whether you go to the chemist, the department store, or even a beautician, the products are giving you a coating over the top. They aren't actually fixing the problem. The transformation skincare system, along with these little spa machines, go to the source of the problem, fixing the leak, if you like. And it's extraordinary. The results are nothing short of amazing. I mean amazing. And don't believe me, I'm just a voice on the other end of this presentation. Try it. For 90 days, if you don't see results in your skin, we'll offer your money back, 100% money back guarantee. Here we see changes in pigmentation on both of these. We see deep lines and wrinkles in this gentleman. You can see here the difference in the brow, the nasal labia fold, etc. Here, pigmentation and wrinkles. Try this skincare product and you will see the results guaranteed. Here we have our galvanic spa machine. Literally the smallest wrinkle iron in the world. Before, after 10 days, after 8 weeks. Look at the change in the skin. Here's Lauren. We see after a few months of using the products. Look at the change in the skin. Here is a very good friend of mine, Yelena. Look at the change in the skin. As you use these products, you will be guaranteed to see amazing results. Now I have a short video for you. Let's see if we can play it. Oh, we seem to have lost sound here.
The new Skin Galvanic Spa on my triceps to remove the cellulite that has been built up over the years. I'm 50 years old, and this is what my right arm looks like. As you can see, got the tricep hanging, even though I work out all the time. I use the Galvanic Spa 3 times a week for 10 minutes, and this is the results on my left arm. As you can see, no cellulite. Tricep fat gone, tone trimmed.
Now, is that amazing or is that amazing? You try these products and I guarantee you're going to have extraordinary results with them. Now, here's again the body spa. We see backs of arms, tummies, bottoms, cellulite in the legs. This machine is just a little miracle worker to help with those areas that are very, very difficult to move fat or to help with stretch marks and stretch skin. Lastly, we have our product called R². And this product, as I said, helps with cellular energy and helps to detox and purify. It works in 3 areas primarily. Number 1, you're going to see more physical energy. Here's group 1, the control group, after putting on a treadmill. So the blue group didn't have any, just had a placebo. This is the start. They ran for about 22 minutes on the treadmill before hitting exhaustion. The other group, equal size, ran just a bit less. After 5 weeks, the group who was on a placebo, a sugar pill, didn't really have much change at all in their performance. And here, the group with the R² had a 63% increase in muscle to exhaustion on the treadmill. They went for about 37 minutes before they hit that. Incredible. Here's brain function, a 20% quicker, sharper, faster thinking. And then you'll also see an effect in the bedroom. Let's just say you'll be like newlyweds again. So now that we've heard a little about the products, and there's just hundreds and hundreds of testimonials. In fact, I invite you to go to YouTube and go type in ageLOC testimonials or ageLOC before and afters, and you'll see thousands of people who've posted up their results online, real people with real results, and it's extraordinary. Now, we're about to move into an area which I'm very, very excited about, and it's the area of weight management and really longevity, because as we lose weight, we absolutely live longer. There's no doubt about it. We have discovered, well, here's some facts. Around the world, obesity is a huge problem. In fact, most countries in the world have over 50% of their population who are obese. Countries even like Australia, New Zealand, North America, Europe are into the 60s and almost 70 percentile of the population who are overweight. And often about half of those are obese, which is really quite critical for long-term health. We'd like to introduce you to TR90. TR90 is a revolutionary product which has enabled our scientists to literally turn off the genes responsible for fat storage, for negative mood, and for cravings of carbs and sugar, while turning on the genes that metabolize fat, that burn that fat right up, that turn protein to muscle, and give you a positive mood. And this product is guaranteed in 90 days to see your body reshape or your money back. And at really less than $20 a day, you're going to find this product is also priced better than almost any competitor in the marketplace. It's going to be a huge hit as it releases. Now, here are just a couple of the hundreds of people who've been on our preclinical trials. And you can see day 1 and day 60. here for Dawn, and for Michael, you can see a day 1, day 60, and day 90. This is with minimal exercise. I won't say no exercise. They are walking. What the program says to walk a couple times a week, but this is not pumping out at the gym or those ab flexes and things. This is just following the program, which I think you're going to find absolutely extraordinary. Now, we have just so many people and testimonials. Ask the person who invited you to watch this to send you some of the testimonials and some of the before and after pictures. It is just stunning. Now, as we released our products, you can see momentum starting to happen. Let's talk about the business side of things. As we released this little smallest wrinkle iron, this galvanic spa, we did $5 million in sales. As we released our ageLOC products, the transformation skincare, $17 million in the first week. As we released our R² product, we achieved $100 million. And we're projecting over $600 million in sales in the first few days of TR90 launching. I need to tell you, this is going to rival the launch of iPhone 5. This is big, and there's an opportunity for you to position yourself in front of this and literally change your financial future, as well as your health and many people around you. Now, there are 3 ways to have a business. The first is to start your own idea. And listen, I applaud people who start their own idea. I had started my own business before, and unfortunately, it was a non-for-profit business. Well, it wasn't meant to be non-for-profit, but it turned into non-for-profit. We ended up losing money. The second way is to buy a franchise, and a franchise is a much more secure way to start a business because you're buying a recipe. You're buying a formula for success. And more than 95% of small businesses fail, while more than 95% of franchises end up succeeding. The only catch is you're going to have to invest hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to buy a good franchise. The third type of business is to build a network. Now, I had never been involved in networking before, and to be honest, I didn't even have a great opinion of networking. But I was open-minded, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to find out. And what I found was that the systems and the track record of networking are very, very similar to a franchise, but without the big franchise upfront money. And I want to share with you now over the next few minutes how that could work for you. So, firstly, why direct marketing? It's a question that a lot of people ask me. And, well, let's just talk about it. Traditional manufacturing manufactures a product, and it goes through a number of middle people, national, regional, wholesaler, retail store to consumer, and added on are advertising, marketing, promotion. And I don't know if you know this, but if you were to buy a supplement or maybe even a jar of cream from your local pharmacy or health food store, well, a product that costs $60 to the end-line consumer can often cost as little as $2 to $2.50 to manufacture. In fact, often the packaging itself, the bottle it's in, costs more than the stuff inside the jar. So in direct marketing, what we're able to do is we're able to cut out the middle people and go direct to the consumer. We don't have all these middlemen. We don't have all the advertising costs and promotions. And let's face it, do you really trust the ad you see on TV? I mean, do you really think the supermodels are using those shampoos and those home hair dye? Of course not. Consumers today with the internet have become very savvy, and they really realize that that advertising is false. It's really people paid to say they use something they don't use. Well, in direct marketing, it's real people with real results. And that's what people want. Consumers today want results. They want to look and feel younger. And who do they trust? They trust more than anybody else their friends, their family, and people around them. When you read a good book, when you go to a good movie, when you go to a good restaurant, what do? You want to tell people about that. Conversely, when you get bad service or it's a bad movie, you tell even more people about it. So when you have something great and people really experiencing that, then they want to share it. And all we do now is we're able to track and trace that and enable you to profit share. And that's caused our company to profit share more than $9 billion US dollars. Do you know how big a billion is? Well, a million seconds, I've done this, it's a fun little thing. Watch your clock, your watch and count a million seconds. It would take about a million seconds is 11 days approximately. Well, a billion seconds is 33 years. So the difference between a million and a billion is a lot. Um, that's over $970 million of profit share last year alone. And we've created over 1,000 millionaires. About 30 of those people have earned over 20 million US dollars. And what I want to share with you is that if you're going to be in direct marketing, then there's only one game in town. New Skin has created over half of the people on earth who've earned over $20 million have done it with New Skin's compensation plan. So if you want to be in direct marketing, then there's only one company, in my opinion, that you'd want to be with. A company that has proven to pay more than any other company on the planet. So how does it work? Well, there's 4 basic steps. Number 1, you convert your home with what's called an essentials pack. And in converting your home, you become familiar with the products. I'm going to tell you that every single person listening to this webinar right now washed their hair, brushed their teeth, had a shower, a shave, a deodorant, a fragrance, maybe have some sort of supplement on their counter. They want to look and feel younger. So the first thing is convert your home and become a part of the product. The second thing is you want to establish 10 to 20 what we call ADR or recurring consumers. And the core of any business in the world is to have real customers, because real customers are going to create real results for your business. The next step is, you want to invite 4 key people, people who you respect, people who are looking for an opportunity. And you could think about people like this. Who's a friend who maybe is working hard but not earning enough? Who do you know who's made redundant? Who do you know who's not been felt appreciated at their work? Who do you know who maybe it's double income with no kids and they've had a family and now they're down to 1 income with twice the expense? Who do you know who's looking for an opportunity, who wants to put their kids in better schools, who wants to drive a nicer car, who have a better home, travel more, perhaps look after their retirement? My gosh, there are just billions of people on earth today who are looking to look younger, feel younger, or if they had an extra $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month coming in, would totally change their life. By you converting your home, developing 10 to 20 consumers, and introducing 4 other people who do the same, who do steps 1 and 2, then you're going to earn about $1,000 a month. It's not a lot, but if I wrote you a check right now for an extra $12,000 for the next 12 months, I'm sure you'd find something to do with it. The next step is teach. Step number 4 is to teach those 4 people to duplicate the process. You want your 4 people to be earning about $1,000 a month to start with. And if you help 4 people earn $1,000 a month, then you're earning about $3,500 yourself. And you're called a Ruby executive within our system. Not only do you make $3,500 a month, which by the way is a great income, that's about $40,000 a year of extra income, but you're also going to get a $10,000 overseas trip. The next trip, leaving in a few months, is going to San Francisco and then on to the Rocky Mountains. The following trip I've just been enabled to release is going to be going to Las Vegas and then the Grand Canyon. I'm talking first class everything. First class hotels, limousines, dinners in the fanciest hotels, private helicopter tours over the Grand Canyon. You really get treated like royalty. And you also get a chance to go and meet our corporate headquarters, meet the founders, meet the corporate staff, meet the scientists, and really kick the bricks. And so when you're at that level, the company says, we really appreciate you. Come on a trip with us, and let's tell you and give you confidence in the company and the future we have. Now, once you do that in the country you're in, then you start to duplicate it. And what happens is, and I'm making this webinar from New Zealand, so it starts in New Zealand. You may be in some other part of the world, but it's the same principle. You'll know people in Australia. You know people in South Africa, perhaps in Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines. Those people might know people in India and China. Maybe you know some people in Europe who will know people in France or Germany or Spain, the UK, perhaps in Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, Finland, maybe in North America, which could spread to South America and even Canada. So what happens as a result of you building this little pod, this little group of 4 people who teach 4 people, it can start to replicate all over the world, and you can start to earn larger incomes. And every single month, as people consume these products, as they converted their homes, that income keeps coming in. Now, if you help 1 person to become an executive, build a little team, a pod, you're earning about $1,000 a month. We showed that before. If you help 2 and then 4, you're earning about $3,500. That's what I explained to you earlier. If you help 6 people, it's about $6,700 a month. 8 people, the average is $13,600 per month. If you're able to help 12 people, the average is $65,000 per month. Now, let me be clear again. That's you converting your home with the Essentials package, using the brands you already use but just changing brands, using the types of products you already use but just changing your brands, developing 10 to 20 recurring customers, teaching 4 other people how to duplicate steps 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then duplicating that to 4 people, to 6 people, to 8 people, and then eventually 12 people. You're basically building little teams of people who are developing consumers within our product category, and with some of the most cutting edge, phenomenal, extraordinary, sexy, sleek products on the planet today. Now, here's an example of the Essentials Pack. And here you're going to have products you use every day. There's products for the shower, there's shampoos, products for your kitchen to be healthier, for your kitchen bench, our amazing AP24 toothpaste, some of our products in the rainforest, and even you have a bag here to feed a child. Actually, this bag will feed 30 meals in an impoverished part of the world. So you're making a difference along the way. An Essentials Pack may cost slightly different in different countries. Here in our part of the world, it's $600 to start. And it also includes one-to-one coaching, a personalized business plan, coaching, training, webinars like you're watching right now, an online support, and a great team of people to work with. And I can't emphasize that enough. You really want to position yourself with people who are up to something, who are doing something extraordinary, who want to change their life in a positive way. So I want to conclude this webinar by just asking you what I asked you in the beginning. What's your number one priority? How could this opportunity perhaps catch you at the right time in your life and change your entire future? How could that extra income, for many of you, financial freedom will come from this. Some of you just having the idea of owning your own business and not having to work for someone else again. Many of you, and this was my hot button, was having more time with my kids, more time with my loved ones, more time with my family, being able to travel. Many people I know, and I know I've helped with my parents and many other people with their retirement. And I just get a kick out of helping people. If you're the kind of person who loves helping other people, helping them develop personally, you want to help develop yourself personally, of course, first, and then help others, and meeting people. I love people. And being around people and making a difference, I just can't think of anything more fun in the world to do. You know, as we conclude this webinar, and I'm sorry to be a bit cheeky with this, but you know, there is that O generation. And I meet people all the time who are skeptical and you know, they've got questions. And listen, I appreciate that. I'm like that. I had questions. I wanted to know, was this real? You know, no one wants to, even though it's a small money to invest in a business, no one wants to lose their hard-earned income, you know, to something that's just something that isn't really what it represents itself to be. You might have questions, and I really encourage you to get back to the person who invited you and ask the questions. This is not easy. I mean, you're looking for 4 or 6 or 8 or 12 people, you know, and there are lots of people looking, but I'm not saying this is easy, but is it worth it? Absolutely. I have built a business that's turned over more than $100 million. In fact, the first year we did this, we had $1.5 million of products sell, and we ran our business from our kitchen table. We had 3 kids under 5 when we were literally kids on mattresses on the floor, banana boxes for their clothes. I had an old Honda Accord with a leaky sunroof, and the moisture was causing little mushrooms to grow on the carpet. I mean, we had nothing. We changed our entire life with this company. I am so grateful to have been involved with this opportunity, and I'm so grateful you're taking the time to listen to this today and possibly change your life. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact the person who referred you to this webinar, this online broadcast, and ask your questions. Try the products. That's got to be the first thing. You have to fall in love with these products and the results they're going to have. Sit down and review the compensation structure and understand it. But don't sit on the fence. Take action. Change your life. Don't be one of the 95% of people who are dead or dead broke. Be one of the people who are up to something. I really hope you found this information helpful. I wish you great success in the future, and I'd like to wish you all the success. Bye for now.